Great to have you here at the details now. The Municipal Assembly has confirmed Joshua Botte as the new municipal chief executive of the area. His confirmation comes at a time of unrest at the Assembly over his election. The president's nominee, Mr. Botte, had been rejected twice by the Assembly last year. It will be recalled that at a meeting held at the latter part of December last year over his election and subsequent confirmation, there was chaos after some Assembly members stormed the meeting grounds to disrupt it. Just yesterday, 3 persons were picked up by the police for destroying some billboards in the municipality in protest of today's vote and confirmation of Mr. Botte as the MCE. My colleague Enes Meno has been on the beat since last night and joins us over the phone with the latest. Enes, describe the mood at the Assembly now. Hello, Enes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, Ben.
Great. I was asking you to describe the mood at the Assembly now to us.
Well, it's a mood of jubilation. We have people, loyalists or party faithful, especially of the NPP, who are celebrating with the MC-elect Joshua Botte, was confirmed this morning after 2 failed attempts. This was his very final attempt, and fortunately for him, he was confirmed by the Assembly members who showed up at the elections, which was organized at the Teachers Hall or Nat Hall here at Nungwa.
And this didn't go without controversy. We understand that the presiding member who is supposed to summon Assembly members for the election was not present. So how many were there, and what exactly were the figures or the results in terms of figures?
Well, absolutely. The presiding officer himself or member was not present at the elections. Already we know that 3 others were arrested yesterday, transferred to the Accra Region Police, and now we understand they've been granted bail. There were 2 others who also did not show up. Now there are 15 members of the Assembly. Only 9 showed up for the elections this morning, and all 9 voted yes to confirm the nomination of Joshua Botte as MC for Municipal Assembly.
And does this in any way give room for this particular election to be challenged?
Well, not exactly, because all you need is 2/3 of the people who show up for the election. So if you have 9 people showing up for the elections and all of them voting a yes, which represents 100%, technically there shouldn't be any basis for a challenge, except that for these Assembly members who were arrested yesterday, they think that it was part of a grand scheme to, as it were, deny them the opportunity to vote or cast their ballot in this very elections. The reason why they were voted by, their constituents or residents to represent them at the Assembly. And so technically there isn't much to challenge, but, like the lawyers say, there's always a way. And we understand that they're going to hold a press conference anytime this afternoon.
Have you had the opportunity to speak to the MC-elect, Joshua Botte?
Yes.
What has he been telling you?
Well, I spoke to Joshua Botte just a while ago, right after the elections, after he was confirmed by the Assembly members and declared by the Electoral Commission. They set off, into town with a float, jubilate. They first stopped at the Wulomo, which is the chief priest for Nungwa. They called on him at his palace and then moved to the palace of the chief of Nungwa as well. So after the short meeting, I interacted with him. First of all, he spoke about the arrest. I asked him about the arrest. He said he was not aware and that I was informing him for the first time. However, he believes that he can work with everyone at the Assembly. He's not perturbed that only 9 out of the 15 showed up to vote. All that matters to him is that he has been confirmed by the Assembly, and he's grateful to the President and to the Member of Parliament for the area who have expressed confidence in him, and he's open to develop the municipality to a level that the people can appreciate.
And finally, tell us about how the other Assembly members are reacting to the latest developments in the Assembly.
Well, because of how the situation is, you wouldn't find the other assembly members, those who did not show up. The three who have been granted bail are at the Accra Circuit Court as we speak. There was one who did not show up. He headed to work this morning. In fact, when I called him, he said he drove by the venue for the election. He saw heavy security, and he got wind that he could be arrested, and so he did not step out of his car. He just went straight to the office. The other three, which includes the presiding member himself, we are yet to locate them to hear them on this matter.
And a quick update on these three assembly members who you say were arrested. If I got you correctly earlier, they've been granted bail.
Yes, they have been granted bail just this morning. They were transferred from the Nungwa police station to the Accra Region Police and then processed for court. An Accra Circuit Court has granted them bail just this morning. We are not sure of the sureties, but we understand that two people were asked to sort of assure for them. So that is all we know.
Sure. Thank you very much, my colleague Ernest Menu there. Let's now get onto the phone and speak with Willinda Bote, who is an NDC constituency chairman in the area. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thanks for your time.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right. Now, we understand that your men who were arrested have been granted bail. And
yes.
So where are they currently?
We are heading towards Nungwa. They are in a car coming home. So we are with them.
And have they been informed of the election or of the MCE, Joshua Bote?
Oh, yes.
And how have they reacted to that, sir?
Well, their concern is to get out of police custody. So whatever was done this morning is not too much of a concern to them. They want to regain their freedom. Actually, they were taken aback by the whole, incident. How they were invited, how they were confined, restricted, and then taken to court this early morning. So their main concern is to get home. That's exactly what we have done.
What exactly are they being charged with? What's their charge?
Well, they said they pulled some billboards that have been erected by the assembly. But to give you a brief background of this particular incident, last year, September, when the district assembly, that's Lejo Kuku Krowo, was divided, Lejo Kuku, that is Afforestation and Krowo, and Krowo, we have to succeed. So boundaries have to be created. And these three gentlemen, being assemblymen from Nungwa, protested that where they are citing the boundaries, because boundary issues, so far as assembly thing is concerned, it's about revenue. It's about a whole lot of things. And we cannot afford to leave all the revenue, because if we do that, development will go to Teshin. And these things are in Nungwa. Most of these businesses, that is the reason for bringing the boundary where they brought it as first, is in Nungwa. So they only protested that where, as assemblymen, where you have placed the signpost, it's not appropriate. September last year.
Okay.
Even the regional minister has to intervene. So we thought that matter has been brought to a close or a closure, but only for it yesterday for us to hear this unfunded incident. They've been invited to the police. When they came, they were, confined to the premises of the police.
Mr. Bote, has this case been determined in court, or they would have to reappear?
Yes, we have to reappear. This morning what we came is application for bail. That is what we tabled before the judge. And we've been given the opportunity to go back and see if this issue can be resolved amicably. So from here we'll be involving all the stakeholders to see how best this problem will come to a close. But you see, let me say this. It was done deliberately so that they can have their way. to approve the MC.
Mr. Bote, these 3 assembly members, Alfred Niahinsalayo, Oko Odiko, and Lawrence Bokwe, do they all belong to the opposition NDC?
Yes, they are all members of the NDC, elected constituency executives of the NDC.
And so your suspicion is that this was done to enable the confirmation of Mr.
And we've always been telling them that, you see, the assembly inability to approve the nomination of the DC is not coming from our side. Because if you look at the composition of the assembly, they are in the majority. They have almost 11 people out of the 15. So if they fail to approve the nominee, the vote is not coming from NDC. So why do you pick these people just to punish them?
Finally, Mr. Bote, we understand that there was some destruction of billboards by these men who you now say are NDC constituency executives. Did that happen?
Whatsoever, anyway.
Thank you very much.
Went there in their capacity as assemblymen from.
Thank you very much. Willinda Bote is Krowo constituency chairman of the NDC. We surely will keep our eyes on this story and bring you updates as and when they are available. Now, government will soon reduce the number of senior high schools running the double-track system. The Ghana Education Service says government is working to complete many of the Get Fund projects to take in more students. There's concern about the inconvenience created by senior high school students having different academic calendars. But Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Education Service, Cassandra Chumampofo, explains the situation will soon improve. She spoke with Roland Walker earlier on the AM show.
I am very hopeful that by the time we even get to September, a lot of the schools would have fallen off the double track. Why? Because some of the schools have uncompleted projects, of which government, the ministry is, working hard to
is it ministry
complete.
Projects or Get Fund projects?
Well, we have Get Fund projects. We also have GOG projects and all of that. And the ministry is working hard to complete these buildings. And so if, for example, let me use my school, Ghana Secondary School, if they have Koforidua, I'm a beacon. So if...
Let's give to your Warabuaji school.
Absolutely.
Great.
So if we have any uncompleted Get Fund and it's being completed between now and September, it means that if we are able to expand our space, we will be able to go off the double track, even for the first years and all that time. So it's temporal. As and when we get infrastructure for the schools and we open up the space, definitely they'll be falling off one by one of the track. But as it is now, if they don't fall off, once they get to Form 2, they will be running the semester and the first years will stay in the track.
Cassandra Chumampofo also says private schools that meet the criteria set for the free senior high school policy will be considered soon.
But again, you know, before we absorb, you should apply. We just don't get up and absorb your private school.
And you don't accept any private school too?
Oh, of course. We also go around. When you apply that we absorb your schools, we have a team that would go and inspect, look at your infrastructure, your teachers and all of that. In case, you know, when we absorb your school, be ready to also let us know, give us your land papers. We have to be sure that there's no, litigation on your land. If your teachers are not professional teachers, we are going to clear them. If government is absorbed, we have to be sure that within 5 years we can use your facility. So we have a number of things that we consider. And so it's not just that the proprietor or the owner of the school must be ready to accept our terms and all of that, that indeed you are giving your school to government and you just can't come in and do anything that you want. So we consider all of these. And this last year, we absorbed 14 private senior high schools. And as I speak to you, they have their students.
You're watching Joy News Today with me, Bernice Abubeidulansa. Still to come, government cancels $74 million waste bins contract with the Jospon Group following Joy News investigative story. And in business, we'll tell you about the latest inflation figures. In sports, Neodate Lamte backs former colleague Siki Akuno to succeed in Africa with Kotoko. And on the international front, the Saudi woman who refused to leave Bangkok airport has been given refugee status. We've got details to stay. Thanks for staying here on Joy News today. The government of Ghana has cancelled the questionable waste bins contract awarded to the Jospon Group of companies. In 2017, Joy News investigative series dubbed Robbing the Assemblies revealed that the Jospon Group was awarded a contract to supply bin liners and put the cost at 70 cedis apiece when those same bin liners were being sold at less than 1 cedi. Head of Joy News' investigative desk, Manasseh Azuri-Awuni, who carried out the nationwide investigation, also revealed the ministry did not need the waste bins at the time it awarded this contract. Here's a news desk report on the cancellation of the contract.
On November 7, 2016, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development single-sourced 5 companies to supply 1 million waste bins and 900,000 disposable bin liners. Joy News investigations revealed all the 5 companies belonged to the Jospon Group of companies. Our investigation also revealed that the $74 million contract was inflated by at least $31.1 million. For instance, a piece of bin liner which was sold at the Jospon Group at 98 pesos was being quoted in the contract at $15.6 or 70 cedis. A visit to some 53 metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies across the 10 regions also revealed that the ministry had procured 150,000 waste bins for the assemblies and could not distribute them at the time it was ordering the 1 million bins. The directive to procure the 1 million waste bins was given from the office of a president. Following Joy News' expose, the Attorney General ordered the police CID to commence criminal investigation into the scandal. But before it concludes the matter, the local government ministry has been directed to terminate the contract. The Jospon Group was yet to supply the bins and no payment has been made yet. A cabinet committee has also been set up to comprehensively review the questionable sanitation contracts revealed in the Robbing the Assemblies documentary. Meanwhile, 1 year and 5 months since the police CID started criminal investigation into the waste bins and fumigation scandals, it is yet to be known if any action will be taken by the Attorney General.
Now, police has put before court 7 leaders of the aggrieved customers of Mint Gold who defied the police directive and demonstrated on the streets of Kumasi Tuesday morning to demand payment of their locked-up funds. Now, the 7 are being charged for flouting the Public Order Act. My colleague Prince Appiah is currently in court and joins us on the phone with the latest. Prince, what happened in court today?
Bennett, I should say the judges yet to call the case, but all the 7 are here in court at the Afforestation District Court. Other aggrieved customers of the Men's Gold sympathizers are also here. Some family members are also here. So numbering about 20 of them are all here to support them. But what they are saying is that they are surprised that they are being dragged to court in this particular time where they are trying to get their monies from authorities of Men's Gold. But all they are saying is that they believe that at the end of the day, today, the case will go in their favor and they will all go home and think of the next line of action. They are all in very moody state, I should say, in court, Bernard.
Prince, do these 7 have any lawyer representing them in court? And if they do, what have they been saying about this?
At the moment, we've not been able to identify the lawyer who is going to help them in court. We're told that they have the lawyer, but we've not seen him. We've not spotted him around at the moment. So that is the situation now, brother.
Thank you, Prince Appiah, following that case for us. We'll bring you updates in subsequent bulletins. Now, to some good news. A nursing mother, Millicent Ahiati, has emerged the best student in an essay writing competition for basic certificate education examination candidates in the Afajato South District of the Volta region. The 18-year-old defied society societal norms and return to the classroom after putting to birth, after having her baby. Now, she received 500 cedis as a cash prize and a senior high school scholarship for excelling as the best student. John News' Fred Kwame Asare filed the following report.
Millicent Ahianti resides in Tafi Abiefe in the Afajato South district of the Volta region with her family. Though a determined student, Millicent fell for the urge to satisfy her sexual desire. She was lured into sex, resulting in pregnancy.
I got pregnant in 2017, that was June. So by then, I have to stop schooling and stay at home.
However, unlike other adolescent girls who drop out of school due to pregnancy, Millicent returned to the classroom some months after delivery. Her mother takes care of her 1-year-old son when she's gone to school. Millicent is now in Form 3 in the Tafi Abiefe District Assembly Junior High School, preparing for this year's BECE. She tells me combining taking care of her baby and academic work has not been easy, but she is determined, realizing it is only education that can secure her a better future.
I only learn when I'm in school, because when I'm back from school, I have lots of things to do and then to take care of the baby. So I have to learn when I'm in school. I don't care about how people see about me. I don't care. I'm my own self. So I have to do what I'm determined to do. I want to become what I want to be in the future. So that's why I went back to school. I would like to be a doctor.
Described as one of the brilliant heads by her teachers and peers, Millicent emerged the best performing student in a competition in the Afajato South District. She was awarded a 500 Ghana Cedi cash prize and a senior high school scholarship by the Member of Parliament for the area, Angela Alowu. Madam Alowu explains the competition was to augment preparation of the final year students for the 2019 BECE.
I didn't even know that a lesson mother wrote the exams from the day we started. But this tells me that there is an adage in Everett that you don't use the floor where you fell as your sleeping place. You really have to get up and walk. And this lady, from all indications, has proven that she's capable of rising and rising well. I will actually take up her fees if she passes well for the next stage or for the next stage. Even though it is free education, there are a lot of things that are not free, which I will take care of at the next level.
Millicent's determination should serve as motivation for her peers who dropped out of school due to pregnancy to go back and chase their dreams. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Tafi Abiefe.
Great story there. Now, the Forestry Commission says personnel of the Youth in Afforestation program will from this month have their allowances paid promptly. It follows last month's protestation at the Commission's offices by personnel over delayed allowances covering 8 months. Chief Executive Kojo Usufriye says the Commission owes its workers for 3 months. Oheming Teria reports.
Over 65,000 beneficiaries out of initial 15,000 were employed nationwide last year for the Youth in Afforestation model of the Youth Employment Agency. Following the protest over delayed allowances, the Forestry Commission has paid 2-month allowances in December alone. Mr. Usufriye has been engaging with beneficiaries on a working visit to the Ashanti region. He was at Bumfom and Enumsu Forest Reserve, as well as Ofin Herdwick plantation sites at Kumewu and Mampong Forestry districts. Mr. Usufriye tells Joy News the 8 months arrears claimed by the personnel is incorrect.
We have heard people talk about the fact that we are owing them 6 months arrears. Entirely, it is not so. Not all of them began the job at the same time. Some began in April, others in May. Here, especially and elsewhere, it was June, July that we employed them. So, and if we employ somebody in, say, July, August, September, October, November, and December, you certainly cannot owe the person 8 months or 6 months, as they say. So it is true that some of them, there are some areas to be paid, but I'm happy that the Minister of Finance gave us some 2 months, arrears to clear some of the outstanding, allowances that we ought to pay, and so we've managed to pay up to September. In August, in January, the minister has assured me to give me some more support to pay. And I'm hoping that we will be able to clear October and November, allowances. So, in effect, we will have only December and January to pay. And then we are on and on. The minister assured me that in 2019, we do not want to see the kind of demonstrations that we have had. And so they will find the money to pay these young people who, in spite of all the challenges and difficulties, they are still working. And so I'm happy, and I thank the Minister for Finance for such assurances. And I'm also grateful to the Chief of Staff, Chief Frema, for taking active interest in ensuring that these monies that are owed these people are paid.
The Forestry Commission has since the middle of 2018 planted 24,000 hectares or 60,000 acres of land. 3 species planted include teak, Cinderella, Oframo, Emery, and Mahogany. About 10,200 hectares were planted under the Youth in Afforestation program alone. Mr. Usofiye is happy about the progress made so far.
The Forestry Commission employed over 65,000 young men and women to be employed in these areas. And I think that is also part of the government's vision of putting money in people's pockets and people putting food on our tables. And these young, if you could see from their faces the enthusiasm with which they welcome. And in spite of the fact that we are still, not paid some of them, they believe that when government owes you, a government cannot run away. A government will pay. And therefore, it is for that reason that they are working. So the government's approach to giving employment to young people of this country is also being achieved, through this program.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohiminteria reports.
Thank you so much for staying here on Joy News today. Coming up in business, we're picking up information that inflation rates increased marginally to 9.4% in December last year. Emmanuel Abadiri has details shortly. Don't go away.